decision as well. Bro, Haji's not listening, is he?
Let's get to this particular video. About a year ago, I had to call out Hamza's death. And it's nothing personal between me and the brother, and all the other brothers as well. Nothing personal. It's to protect the deen from vultures. It's protecting the amana of the ummah from those who use performative and emotive da'wah to solicit money from us. So, Hamza's den, summarising it, asked for 25,000 to clear his debts. Then he raised the GoFundMe from 25 to 35 and 35 to 50. And Abdullah Al-Andalusi took it upon himself to investigate as part of his Hizbah, and nothing came from that. He was only going to investigate the first 25,000. No report came, so we don't even know what happened with the first 25,000. Never mind the last 25,000. Realised, and even with the archived videos from his digital footprint, he mentioned about moving to Qatar, and so there's 100,000, right? So it seems that you tie in the dots, right? There's 100,000 that he needs, to put down, to get some residency in Qatar. That's what it seems like. And he also admits where he's staying, and part of, I'm going to show you on screen what the conditions are. So let's listen to Hamza's den.
When will the shop be online? That's a great question. I've made a decision as well. Bro, Haji's not listening, is he? I've made a decision as well. So tell me what you think, if this is worth a good idea or not, as the case may be, because I like your counsel. What I'm thinking of doing is I need to raise a certain amount of money for my project of writing the book. So what I'm thinking of doing is getting 5 sponsors. And I'm thinking one of the sponsors is going to be you guys. Because it's like an opportunity to share in the potential of what the book will become. The portion that will be for my supporters will be 10,000 only. We're going to do it through the Launch Good Islamic fundraising platform. So I plan to get 4 private sponsors, and then I could have got 5 private sponsors, to be honest, but I don't want to do that. I want to give you guys the opportunity to share in that project, because it's kind of an immense project. It's going to enable me to travel to Doha, live there for a year, and get on with my books, man, finally. And then once I write my books, inshallah, I'll be lecturing and debating on them, inshallah. So that's the plan. What do you guys think? So I'm going to get 4 private donors, 4 private sponsors, should I say, and 1 public sponsor, which will be you guys. How does that sound? How long will I stay in Qatar? I'm planning to stay for a year. Inshallah. I'll come back to I'll probably do 3 weeks in Doha, 1 week in London. So I'll every month. So 3 weeks Doha, 1 week London. Inshallah. That's the kind of arrangement I've got with the missus.
So you heard Hamza's den put the feelers out there. So his plan is to write a book, stay in Doha for a year. It all ties in with his permanent residency in Qatar, which I'm going to show you, because he's already got 50 grand from the previous campaign, right? So 4 sponsors, private. So there'll be 4 Khalijis, Ghani, they're going to be obviously rich. So that'll be 40,000. Then he wants the public, he wants us to share in the rewards. You see, performative, emotive, that one. So he wants 10 grand from us, and that's 50 grand, right? So you need to stay Qatar for 1 year in order to obtain permanent residency, but there's conditions with that as well, right? There's conditions as well. Now, once again, after what's happened, Hamza, where over the last 4 years at least, if not 3, you've been grifting. And I'm sorry to say this, but it's grifting. 3-4 years, the digital footprint, there's no explanation whatsoever. You've been traveling lavishly. You paid Ben Iqra 12,000 a year, you know, who, again, is living in the Middle East as well. You flew out for one day to just issue Ben his payment, where you could have just done an IBAN, an international bank transfer, SWIFT. But you flew out to him. So you wasted the Ummah's money just to fly out to give Ben. And Ben's, you know, once again, hasn't answered the question, what did you exactly do? He's a freelancer. So at the end of the day, birds of feather flock together. Now, why do you need to go to Doha to write this book? Why can't you write this book here? Like, what's the need to go to Doha for 1 year? I love to go to Doha. Don't get me wrong, I've been there. It's beautiful. I know many brothers out there. And inshallah ta'ala, I'm due to travel there soon. With my own money, hard-earned money, blood, sweat and tears. So I just don't understand. Now, there's another video, right, and I'm going to play later. This particular issue, look, learning Arabic, you can learn Arabic here. I learn Arabic here. It's all coincidental that there's a year, that you have to stay a year in Qatar to get your permanent residency. So I know, you know, he's mentioned about buying a property there. We've got the digital footprint there as well. So don't think we don't know. You understand? Don't think we don't know. So let's listen to Hamza's den again.
No, what it is, Anas, my missus doesn't want to run a shop. And my daughter doesn't want to run a shop. So one of the conditions of me, if I do go, is that the shop has to be closed. Because they don't want to run a shop. Of course, the gaming PC, standard. My office will move to Doha. If I can pull it off, I'm going to speak to one of my potential facilitators next week, inshallah, and see how viable things are, especially with what's going on in the region and whether or not this year is viable or whether to wait another year. I don't know. And last time I spoke to him, he said, no, make it this year.
You are known to play online games on your YouTube channel all night. Again, sincerity is important. With all due respect, sincerity is important. So your wife and daughter don't value your business, don't want to run the shop. You took £50,000 to clear your debts, your bills. What's happening with your £100,000 bill or debts that you need to pay, which Abdullah Andalusi stated that you had? Right, it's almost fell down. Shameless. Wallah al-azim, shameless. So what's happening with the stock then? What's going to happen with the stock? You give it away? Do you see what I mean? How much debts do you have outstanding now that you had over 100 grand? Allahumma salli Muhammad. It's absolutely shocking. Look, when we discussed the report about Abdullah al-Andalusi, look what he says about that.
Can I ask what happened to the GoFundMe report? I don't know. I wasn't actually producing the report. I think the report's kind of pointless, I'm not going to lie.
Let me get this straight. You instructed Abdullah al-Andalusi for exoneration. You instructed him to clear your name. But now you're saying a year later the report is useless. So why instruct him in the first place? What's this performative da'wah that you're employing? You instructed him, not me. So we asked for the receipts. We asked for the breakdown of the expenditure. I asked you this privately. And now you're saying the report is pointless. So what's this charade then? What was this performative act that you were employing? The report was pointless. So Abdullah Andalusi, you know, you were saying, there was a phone call where you were saying, you know, or he was saying, we need this and we need that. So Abdullah Andalusi, wallah al-azim, when it comes to amana wakala, you can't be trusted. لا تقبل شهادته. I won't accept your testimony in a million years after what we've experienced thus far. So go debate Hamid Robinson, no problem. Go debate Hamid Robinson and claim victory and whatnot. It's a performative da'wah again. If you look at Qatar's golden visa, and again, this is just trying to join the dots together, right? On obtaining investment residency. So he mentioned that he's going to be staying in the Pearl and West Bay. Now, these are the same locations that have been designated as freehold zones, as you can see. And they have to be invested in order to obtain a temporary residency permit in Qatar. So according to Hamza as well, he's staying there and someone else is footing the rent for the year. So angle there. And these are all the details. I'll put the screenshot. So 50 grand last year, £1,000, right? 50,000 this year. Think about it. He has to go by October as well. 50 grand, 50 grand. £100,000. So that'll be just over $100,000, right? He'll have 4 private sponsors, 10,000 from a Qatari, Saudi, Kuwaiti and whatnot. His wife and daughter don't want to work in the shop. The same shop that he took 50,000 of your hard-earned money to clear his debts. But his wife and daughter don't want to work. He's going to come back every month. You think it's cheap? 3 weeks, then 1 week flying from Qatar to London, Qatar to London, Qatar to London, come to Speaker's Corner. Wallah, this is ridiculous.
Let's sort the GoFundMe. We're not going to do GoFundMe. It's going to be called Launch Good. So, mashallah, one of the sponsors is already sorted out. So we've already got one sponsor, a Kuwaiti sponsor. So I've put the feelers out for a Saudi sponsor and a Qatari sponsor. Then there's going to be a public sponsor, and then I have one more portion left. Will it be safe in Qatar? Yeah, I believe so. I imagine I got a year to, all I do, my job is just write a book. So wake up, do some research, look this, look that, jot this down, jot that down, but all this, that, piece it together, because that's why I'm there. But at the same time, I can network ready for what's going to come next. Because what's going to come next is going to be a world tour. So I plan to write my books on Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, on Paul, and on DNA, inshallah. And then I want to do a world tour, traveling to the US, traveling to Australia, traveling to Indonesia, traveling to Malaysia, traveling throughout Europe, and traveling to Africa. And I want to debate and lecture on the three topics, on the truthfulness of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him, on the unreliability of Paul, and DNA as evidence for God. Because my arguments are going to change the dawah forever, and this is why I need to allow my supporters to support and be a part of that journey, inshallah. So I'm only going to make it 10 grand, as each portion is 10 grand. So we'll make it 10 grand, and we'll give that opportunity out to the public. And then everybody's involved then. Everyone's sharing in whatever fruits come from the actual venture. Inshallah. No, 10K is one portion. There's 4, that's one sponsor. So one sponsor is going to be the public. Then I'll have 4 private sponsors. Each one will be 10K. So the whole total will be 50K. But it will be 10K from the public and 40K from private sponsorship.